Notts County Talk back after a long wait of not doing previews. We've got the flag behind us. It was actually the one that we got for the playoffs, and luckily some of the players signed it for us. So.
All of them, I think, with Ardley. Kind enough to do so.
Yeah, so we're going to keep that as the backdrop, I think, for the foreseeable. Let us know what you think. But yeah, on to the game. Dover, a club that are a little bit in turmoil, but Crabble Lane, there's the stadium they play at. You know, we've really got to be going into this, I think, or hoping to beat them. I think they're going to be a tough side. They're going to be fit. They're going to be ready. 3 p.m. kickoff, normal time. But I'll hand you over to the stat man himself, Tom.
Statman. Not many stats to talk about as it's start of the season. I mean, we've had an up and down pre-season. We've had an FA Trophy semi-final thrown in there. Very, very up and down for Dover. A lot of trialists have been in their side, but I mean, they've got losses to Maidstone, Ebbsfleet and Herne Bay in there. Pretty heavy defeat to Maidstone, I think it was, at the weekend as well, 3-0. Just not looking great for them. As I say, a lot of trialists. Can't really go off pre-season, but there's not been too much positivity for them. Our pre-season, obviously, very mixed. As I've mentioned, thumped by York, weren't we? Thumped.
Unfortunately so.
Very, well, not a great performance, but make of that what you will. Ardley says the players reacted how he would want them to react, especially for a pre-season, so that's good news. Only stats I'm going to jump into is last season's goal scoring. So Notts got 61, very good, had a good spread of scorers, Thomas, Roberts in the end, Enzio, Wootton. Dover got 49. Now that's pretty impressive, except 16 came from Effiong and he has gone to Stevenage. Good for Notts, very bad for Dover. As George is going to go on to in a little bit, they've lost a lot of players, haven't they?
Yeah, there are loads. You look at the turnover of not just players but staff as well. You know, they're a club that really are in dire straits, and I think a lot of clubs will be. But with the help that the government are providing, hopefully, like every club will see it through. You know.
Yeah. So they've lost Effiong, they've lost Ricky Modeste, and they've lost Loco at the back. They've also lost Jeffrey to Wrexham, I think it is. So, you know, they've lost a lot of their firepower that made them who they were last season. And I think they brought 4 players in, not fantastic. Which takes me quickly, before George goes on, to players to watch. So really, there's not that many, is there?
It's tough. I want it to pick
tough.
some
Last
players.
season, every team easy to pick out. I don't think Dover. If any Dover fan watches this, leave a comment, because I don't know if they have any fans. Because we've tried, we've looked high and low for a fan to help us with players to watch.
Yeah.
Every single game, Averley we got them. Every team we've had a few fans help us out.
Yeah.
Can't find a Dover.
No, I think they might be hiding because of what's going on.
Yeah.
So.
We've got Wilder Haviland, defender from last season. Looks like one of the few that stayed. 3 goals, decent mainstay in the team. A team that didn't concede that many. So he'll be one to watch out for. Confident Wootton can get on top of him. And then Travis Gregory is their new signing. Exciting winger from Leatherhead. I've seen a short highlight reel of his play. Good, but it's not obviously National League level. Just to note, he was signed after impressing in pre-season, so he's not a player they saw straight away and thought, yeah, he's good enough. He had to work in pre-season, which means he's not maybe as good as some of the other signings in the league. But
yeah, that takes me on to the situation that Dover are in at the moment. So a bit of information that I did find out is that the owner listed every contracted player over the summer on the transfer market to try and clear the books, you know, get as much money into the club as he could, because they're obviously struggling. And he wanted everyone, staff, players, to take a 20% pay cut. Now, I think the majority of them did, but there were some that didn't. So I think if those players are sort of still in and around the squad, there might be a bit of a sour taste left for maybe even the manager and the owner, you know. So it should be interesting, and I think we have to sort of take advantage of the state they're in.
yeah, I've got them 21st. In my prediction, I think hard start to the season. Obviously it is. I think they've got Stockport. It's just not looking good, and it'd be peak Notts County, wouldn't it, to go and lose 2-0.
So we'll go on now to team news for Notts. There's quite a lot in the way of team news. Again, it seems that way a lot, doesn't it, really? You've got Turner and Sloth that are back in training. You know, that they're trying to get the minutes back into them in training, but they've not had much of a pre-season, so I do think they're going to be out of favour. Ollie did say that in his presser. McCrory is obviously behind on time because he had that knee surgery early in the summer, and he's played here and there, but obviously he's not had as many minutes as he'd have liked, and I still think he's getting a bit of a niggle, so he's not going to be in line to play. And last of all, Roberts. So going off what we saw in the game, it looked like it was going to be, at least a couple of months that he was going to be out for. But going off what Ardley was saying, he's got a chance of playing on Saturday, which is obviously great, as it is surprising.
Yeah. I don't think he'll start.
No.
I can't see any chance he'll start. You don't want to risk him. But yeah, some positives for sure.
Yeah.
And that takes us on to our team. Ditch the diamond, I think, is what we want to see.
Yeah, we're not straying too far away from the diamond, I don't think. It's still a bit of a narrower formation than your sort of wingers.
So we are going with a 4-2-2-2 and having the two attacking midfielders sort of tucked in a bit. And you're going to see the team. We'll put it on the screen. In goal, Slocum. Left back.
You know what? Right, just to stay on Slocum, I think he's going to have stiff competition this year.
Yeah.
Very stiff. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not always the same. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he didn't start.
I would. I'd be surprised. Slocum in goal. Left back.
Chickson.
Centre backs.
Now, we were talking about this, weren't we? So, for me, for just the solidness of the back end of last season, you go Rawlinson and Lacey.
I would go
every day.
Lacey and Graham.
You're picky, aren't you?
I am. But we've put Rawlinson on the little graphic because I'm kind.
Really?
I know it'd upset you.
Yeah.
But obviously, Rawlinson's a fantastic defender. But I think Graham, I really, really like Sam Graham.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been tested as much in pre-season as he's going to be, has he?
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then right back, if you watch our channel regularly, you know we're going to pick
Kelly Evans. Every day. For me. It's not... for me, personally, I think it's one of the harder positions to choose because Brindley is a good player. Athletic, he's agile. But Kelly Evans just, for me, offers that sort of grit, that... I like that in a player when they've got that grit, that they're willing to dive into any challenge. I can't remember who it was against, but last season he was marking someone who was about a foot taller than him, and he was heading it clear from him. So for me personally, Kelly Evans.
Have you ever seen any player give 250% in pre-season?
I mean, how many scraps did he have in pre-season? 2, 3?
Not enough.
Not enough. Bloodbath.
So that's our defence: Chickson, Lacey, Rawlinson, or Graham, and Kelly Evans. Now our two midfielders pick themselves, I think.
Yeah. So these are going to be like sitting in front of the defence, aren't they?
Spraying passes.
Linking up the sort of attacking
and
defence.
They're very good passes. We're going Doyle and Reeves, but I would like to say Jim O'Brien has impressed me a lot. But this is a game I think we're going to be on top in, and Doyle and Reeves are the choice for me.
The only problem I think we have with that is O'Brien is a favourite of Ardley's, but then again so is Reeves and Doyle, so he's got a hard choice on his hands, hasn't he? I
think the two attacking midfielders pick themselves.
Yeah, so this for me is a sort of a dilemma. Obviously, it's Enzio and Rodriguez. With Roberts not looking like he's going to start and possibly he could be out for a week or two. Who do we have for backup if one of those go off injured?
Do you know? Jimmy Knowles.
Yeah, but he's a striker and he's not really
play anywhere.
Can he?
I'll
put him in the sticks.
I'll put him anywhere. Class.
Well, I suppose that is not a bad option actually. Yeah. But in terms of out and out, attacking mid wingers,
no, there's no
backup, is there?
What we have to see for me is we have to see, although they're going to be in a 2, we have to see Rodriguez more willing to come inside and Enzio more willing to stay out, because Enzio for me behind the striker doesn't work. Only if he's going to try and get a shot away. That takes us to our 2 strikers who they're going to be supplying. Kyle Wootton, 100%.
Thomas for me as well.
And you've won again.
Yeah.
You've won again. I said Knowles.
But yeah, the arm wrestle and won them both. So I honestly wouldn't mind seeing either Knowles or Thomas, but I do think Thomas just has that edge over Knowles. I think Knowles, he's sort of got that Osborne-esque youngster edge about him, where he's willing to try things that maybe older, more players that have been there and done it wouldn't be willing to try.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, Knowles would be a great player to come on. I think maybe even just coming out in the second half. I wouldn't mind seeing him start, but
maybe we'll see him against
Well, this is the thing. You look at the lineups now. The squad we have, we're gonna need to rotate.
Definitely.
Because our fixtures, it's 3 games a week now for the foreseeable, literally till the end of the season there on. So if we need to be able to rotate and players need to be staying fit and not getting injured, it's gonna be a crazy season, isn't it?
It is. So that takes us on to our score prediction. I haven't done one of these for a while. What are you going?
You know what? I've not really thought about it. Who are you going for?
Well, this is not a dig at Dover at all, and it's not a dig at their current situation, because football isn't as black and white.
You're about to dig them.
No, it's not. Football's not as black and white, as you said in the league prediction video. As Dover are in turmoil, we're going to beat them. I think I'm going for this scoreline because I think the way we played against York was unacceptable. Ardley will have given them an absolute rocket, and they're going to come out and they're going to think we need to prove a point. I'm going Dover Athletic 0, Notts County 4. Rodriguez 2, Wootton 2.
Jesus. Right, I'm gonna be a bit more humble and I'm gonna go 2-0. I think Rodriguez will score. I'd like to see him get off the mark. I think he's gonna be good for him to get off the mark early, and Wootton's gonna get one. That's who I'm going for.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be nice to see the boys running out in the new away kit, innit?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Quickly before we do finish, tomorrow 6 p.m. 7 p.m. Thanks for correcting me. Is when the shirt giveaway ends. If you haven't entered now, go over to the video. You need to subscribe, comment what size you'd like, which shirt you'd like, and like the video. And winner will be picked tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be announcing the winner. So you need to be checking. We'll be announcing the winner by replying to their comment, won't we?
Yeah, we will. Yeah,
just like last season. We'd love to hear your views on what you think the result's going to be. If you're going to be watching it, if you're going to be paying for it via the Dover stream. On your lineups, it's going to be an interesting season, and I think it's going to be a really positive one.